Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, Moose. And before we get started, please remember, the views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor any divisions, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. Now, before we get into tonight's regularly scheduled program, everybody, we have some breaking news and some information we need to get out here to y'all. But to speak on that, I'm going to let our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, talk about that. So please, everybody, please welcome our Chief of Heritage Operations.
Thank you, Moose. I appreciate the opportunity. I've got some great information here, and I wanted to get it out to our SCV family so people can take advantage of this. And I think everybody is probably well aware of the effort to remove the monument, the Confederate monument, Confederate Veterans Monument in Arlington National Cemetery. That's a beautiful monument. If anyone's ever seen it, or at least you've seen the photographs of it, it's a beautiful, great work, artistic design. It was a Jewish Confederate veteran that did the design and the sculpture. It's again, it's historic and it's beautiful, and it's under attack by the neo-Marxists, by the leftists, the woke military, really, and the woke Congress is attacking it. And we're trying to do something about it. I know everybody wants to do something about it. And what I've got is I've been talking with some good Confederate friends in Florida who have this device. They call it a widget, and that's what the people who produce it, it's got some programmers behind it well beyond my capability of understanding. I can assure you, I do Excel and PowerPoint, but I don't do any programming. But they got it programmed, and they call this little device a widget. And what it is, it allows you to go in and just quickly put your information in it, and you can hit a button and it'll automatically send it to your congressman, to your senators, whoever we program it to do. And what we've done is we've programmed, with the help of the folks in Florida. I do not take responsibility for doing the programming. It would not work at all if I did, but they have worked really overtime on trying to get this together for us so we could give it a test drive. If it works, if enough of our people will use this, we can literally flood Congress, and we can flood these woke military brass people who are trying to change all the names of the bases. We can let them know that there's not a few hundred, but there are literally thousands of people. So again, we've got almost 30,000 SCV members. If only half of them will take advantage of this, imagine what's going to happen to their email boxes in Washington, D.C. So I'm excited about this, but again, I can be as excited as I want to be if the people who complain, what are we doing to save our monuments, won't get up and do this. What difference will it make? We can just sit around and moan and wring our hands. But this is a great opportunity. It may work, it may not work, but let's give it a try and see. And let's be a little open-minded. Constructive criticism is desired. And I can tell you, as an author, I have a lot of people who give me good, constructive criticism. It doesn't always feel good when you get it, but you got to realize it's worth it because it makes your end product so much better. So if you've got constructive criticism and you bring it forward as constructive criticism, we can make changes, adapt it, or not adopt this program at all. It all depends on what our members want. So Moose, if you will, put up that first photograph. This is what it's going to look like. And by the way, I'm going to send out on constant contact to all of our people in the Confederate Legion and others that we have, about 4,000 people on the list. I'll send this out, the link that you can click on. It'll take you to this page that looks just like this. It says Save Our Southern Veterans Memorial at Arlington Cemetery. And if you look up in the right-hand corner, you'll see Stop the Destruction at Arlington National Cemetery. Enter your details to send the message to Washington. So this is not the address to your congressman or your senators or the military. This is your information. So I'll show you, put the next one up. This is when I went ahead and populated my information, got it in there. And of course, if any of you use your computer a lot, your Google's probably got your information already saved. As soon as you put your name up there, the rest of the stuff will go ahead and populate. But remember, this is your information. You put it in, your phone number, your email address. If you're in Canada or Australia or in Europe, put that in. You drop down, it'll tell you where. Unfortunately, it doesn't have anything for Confederate States of America, but you'll have to use the United States. And all right, then hit the next one. And what you do is you'll get this. Now, this is a neat thing, is that it's already has information populated for you. So if you're someone that's not like the Kennedy brothers that really enjoy writing, where the people enjoy reading it is another thing, but we enjoy writing. If you really enjoy writing, you can go in here and you can personalize this. So let's see, if you'll click on another one, I believe. Yeah, see where it's underneath the stop destruction at Arlington. Down below there's two asterisks on the left hand side. Please customize the email subject line so that it looks slightly different. Very, very important. So if you come down, you see below Senator John Kennedy, a man that we all think sounds a lot like Froghorn Leghorn when he gets on a roll. I love Senator Kennedy. He can really say some funnies. But below his name is the white email, and then in red it says click here to expand email. So if you click on that, it will expand the email, and you can go in, and if you don't do anything else except change the subject line, where I've got Save Veterans Arlington Monument, you can change it. Click on the next one. Up. Can you go back? I thought I had one more where it showed where I changed it to mine, but anyway, it doesn't matter. That's all right. But you can change it, and it's very important. Now, why is it important that you change it? Well, if you get 10,000 emails, then they all say Save Confederate or Save Veterans Monument, and then how long must we remain silent? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I changed all that and I added a few things to it. You don't have to completely change it. You can just change the first line, or it's time that we listen. How long? Something of that nature. Or you can do a complete your own email. Now, here's the one thing, gentlemen. We are Southern gentlemen. Now, I know, and I'm probably as bad as the next one. I would love to tell them what I really think. But then I'd have to go, if I was Catholic, I'd have to go to confession. Because I'm Protestant, I'd have to go to the altar and make a repent for saying things that I really should not have said, writing things I really should not have said. So by all means, don't tell them what sorry SOBs you think they are. You make a very civil, polite, but intelligent email to these folks. So it's very important that you do this. All right, go to the next one. Now, once you hit submit, that goes off to your, and by the way, go back up again. See, that shows my senators. Well, this thing uses your zip code and to tell which senator, what state you're in, so it'll get the right senator. In Mississippi, you'd have, who are your two senators from Mississippi?
We got Wicker and we got...
Oh, he's almost as bad as Cassidy.
Well, Wicker's at least up front when he betrays you. Our other senator, she's slick about it. I'll say it like that.
Okay. That's not the
Senator Sidney Hyde Smith.
Yeah, she's the one that graduated from Copiah Lincoln Junior High. I'm a junior college. Right. Yeah. Oh well, that's all. But anyway, whatever state you're in, those senators, your senators will pop up there. And we can program this to do your local officials or whatever. There's a lot of things you can do with this once we learn how, if we decide to use it. But it's very important that you know that your senators, you're not sending this to my senators unless you're in Louisiana. Now, I hope by cracky. I hope a lot of the Louisiana folks are listening, and they'll go ahead and use this and send it to our senators so they'll know. But once you hit submit, off it goes. You don't have to worry about it. Now, go to the next one. When you hit submit, then you'll get another chance, because you don't have to do this. You can quit once you do your senators, but I would hope that you would go ahead and send a similar, do the same thing. You populate it, you make the adjustments to the message that's already in there, and then you hit send. But these are the people who are part of the naming commission. And you can see it says, these are the hateful, outrageous, virile, woke, war on the dead America. Somebody, that message, by the way, is for you and I to consume. That does not go to these people up here. But these are the ones that are trying to, they're proposing the name changes. So these people need to get thousands upon thousands of polite but objections to what they're doing to our history and our heritage. Now, if you are a veteran and you say you went to, or you did your basic training at one of these basis that's being changed, then make sure you mention that. If your son went there, or daughter, or if your father went there, make that personal connection. This is part of our history and our heritage. And it wouldn't be a bad idea especially if you have, like my brother and I, a relative, our older brother, was a part of the Dixie Division. Anybody ever heard of the Dixie Division? Oh, great division, and had a DD shoulder patch, and they had Confederate flags. It was they fought in World War I as well as World War II, and in the Mississippi National Guard up until the late 1950s, before it was finally disbanded. So there are people. These people need to hear from all across the South and the rest of the U.S. It will impress them. That's a brilliant fellow there. And I understand he's pretty good looking too. I'm not sure. Not as good looking as me, though. He's sort of getting old on us, yeah. But that's right. We've got to get this message out to every one of these what I call woke brass, and let them know that. And then again, a very polite way of doing it. You don't say things that, we can send 10,000 emails and the media will never comment on it. But if you get one SOB that says things that should not be said, that's the one the media is going to play up, and it'll be played again and again and again. And it's not impossible that somebody would hack us and send stuff like that. So, but we got to make sure that we don't do it, that it's none of our people. Again, civility is in short supply these days. I don't know how many of you saw where a 41-year-old liberal ran down and killed an 18-year-old conservative who was a Republican conservative attending some youth meeting, and this guy ran him down. Have you heard about that, Moose?
I have not.
See, the media is not going to talk about that. But had that been the other way around, it'd be in every news media possible. Now, that's why it's so important for the SCV to use this type of mechanism to get the word out to get our word out to the people who are in control right now, the woke politicians, the woke military. They need to know. I don't know how many of y'all remember watching Braveheart. I've only watched it about 30 times. So, but in the beginning of that movie, the Bravehearts, or William Wallace's father, and a group of the men are meeting, and Braveheart's, or William Wallace's father, tells them, we've got to, we can't let these English get by with what they just did to us. And one of the guy who reminds me of a lot of our pacified, wimpy SCV members, oh, we can't defeat them. We can't defeat them. And Wallace's father looked at him and said, look, we don't have to defeat them. We just have to fight them. And that's the point. They can't, we may win, we may not win this skirmish, but we're going to keep the fight up. They're going to know we're in the fight, and slowly we'll wear them down and we'll build our level up. We'll get our members up. Once we get the SCV up to 100,000 members are friends, then we'll have almost as much political clout, maybe even more if we do things right, than the NRA has. We can then get these people who are stabbing us in the back, we can make them pay. So it's very, very important. Again, this is a test. If I look back, and by the way, we get numbers back. So we know, we don't know who, but we know how many people made use of this. Now, I know right now we probably don't have maybe 100 people listening across the Confederation. Now, that's if every one of them, I hope you will use this, and hope you'll get your wife or your cousins or your brothers, but you got to get this out to your camp members, the ones that are sitting home tonight waiting for the next ball game to watch. You got to get it out to them and say, look, you need to take this. And what you do is you copy the message that I'm sending out on Constant Contact, and you send that to everybody in your camp. Say, click on this, fill this out, get this in. We've got to save the monument, and we got to let the woke military know we're upset with them. And tell them again, if you're a past military, a veteran, let them know. If your son, especially dealing with the woke military, let them know. And don't wait till the next meeting. It may be too late. I've got a meeting in my camp, the NB Forest Camp in Covington, on Tuesday. Well, I don't want to wait till Tuesday. I want the Forest Camp members to know about this and get started sending this out as soon as possible. So make a photocopy of the link. Send that to every one of your camp members. Now, let me tell you a little secret here. Do not forward the Constant Contact notice that I send you. What happens when you forward that to someone that doesn't want it and they hit unsubscribe? Well, guess what? They never were subscribed, but they've unsubscribed you. So you don't forward Constant Contact information to someone, because it's very likely they will unsubscribe if they don't want it. And you'll all of a sudden, I have people come up to me and say, well, I used to get the Confederate Legion newsletter. How come I don't get it anymore? What, did you forward it? Oh, I forwarded it all the time. I appreciate that, but somebody didn't like it, didn't want it, and they unsubscribed you. So be careful when you're doing stuff like that. And that's all I have to say on that. I do have a couple other things, Moose, if I can. But first of all, again, I want to urge everyone, contact your camp members, ask them, urge them, compel them to use this link, go in, fill it out, send it in to your people in Congress and to the woke military. Do not wait. Time is of a critical. Please do it. I hear people all the time complaining, what's the SCV doing about the loss of our monuments? Well, this is something that we're doing. We're trying to make efforts. I mean, we don't have a full staff working 24/7 here in my little study. This is it. And I've been at this computer all day long, and really all week, and started even before last weekend, trying to get this all together. It takes a lot of effort, and people are going to have to help us and work with us. We can make a difference. So please use this. This is a test. If it doesn't work, let me know. If it's not worth the effort, the money that it's going to take to get this, the training in order to know how to program it, heck, we won't do it. But if it works, if I see big numbers, if I see thousands of people have have used this, and it's so easy. Usually people you ask them to send a letter to their congressman, to their senator, and say, well, what's in an email? Oh, well, I don't know his email address. Well, you can find it. Well, I don't know what to say. Well, hey, it's all here for you. All you got to do is maybe change it, personalize it, or if you're like the Kennedy twins and you like to write, then you just write your own, but make sure it's civil. Don't allow the temptation to tell them what you really think to overcome you. That's the devil made you do it. Okay, so don't do that. Now, one other thing, Moose, I don't know if you got this on your calendar or not, but you and I agreed a good while back that the third Thursday of every third month would be an opportunity for the Confederate Legion to give an update. So that would be the third Thursday is the 20th of October. So Moose, if you'll put that on your calendar and make sure, we'll let everybody know, because I had an email from somebody today, a very legitimate email. He was upset that how do we know what's going on? Well, this is how we try to let people know. So we do it on SCV chat. We do it on Look Around the Confederation. We do it in our newsletter we send out. The Confederate Legion newsletter comes out 2 or 3 times a year. We do it in our Advance the Colors in column in the Confederate Veteran. We're trying to get the word out to people, but I still have people complaining we don't know what's going on. And we also have people who don't use Facebook. So that's all right. We're trying to get word out, and I've talked to Moose about this on how to get live streaming on YouTube. So if you don't want to do Facebook, and believe me, I don't do Facebook. I've got Facebook strictly so I can see my grandkids, and as they get older, that Facebook is just going to sit there, because I don't do any politicking on Facebook. I don't do any personal information on Facebook. I don't trust Facebook, and so I understand people's motive. Donald's a little bit different. By the way, his old Facebook account got down, was taken down, or somehow he can't get into it. So he's got a new Facebook. So if y'all get an invite from him, he wasn't hacked. He just lost his code to get into his Facebook account. What did Donald say? He just had something up. Did you see that?
Yes, sir. He wants to see which state will have the best results, and he is cheering on Louisiana.
All right, that's great. Well, I have a feeling that people in Mississippi don't want Louisiana to get ahead of them. So I have a feeling. Right. Yeah, it's sort of like LSU and Ole Miss, A
rivalry as old as time.
It is.
A rivalry between 2 southern states, but a rivalry nonetheless.
That's right. But if somebody says something bad about Mississippi, Louisiana will come to your defense. Unless it's us saying it. Now, that's a different story.
That's a different story. It's usually around LSU in this game.
All right, so everybody put you on your calendar the third Thursday of the third month. So we're starting in October. So the next one will be in January. And then you go 3 months down, 3 months down. So sort of give you an idea of what's going on. Do you want me to quickly tell them what else we got going on, or some of the things we've got going on right now?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to take all your time. I've already taken 27 minutes, and I said I was going to do 5 minutes. So
don't worry. We do have a question. People are asking where the link will be sent or how they can get a hold of it.
Okay. The link is going out on Constant Contact. And so, matter of fact, I've got it scheduled at 8 o'clock. Constant Contact is scheduled to go out to about a little over 4,000 people on our email list. I'm also asking Commander Jason Brochures to put it on the Telegraph. So the contact will be on the Telegraph. So you can get it. If you don't get my Constant Contact notice, look for the Telegraph. It should be out hopefully tomorrow. I don't know how soon he can get it out. But that's the main way. Push comes to shove, you can always email. I think Donald's got his email. Do you have Donald's email address?
I
wdkennedy@reagan.com.
I had the old one there for a while. I have the Confederate Legions.
All right, put the Confederate Legion. So if you do not get the link off of my email address, I mean my constant contact, or if you can't find it on the Telegraph, and again, I haven't had a chance to talk to Commander Brochures. He's a busy guy, but I think my twin brother asked him to put it on the Telegraph tomorrow as soon as it goes out. So. But if you can't get it, send that. Just send a request to me at the Confederate Legion at Reagan.com, and I'll send it to you. All right. Listen, I know, folks, I also had this very interesting email from a gentleman from Alabama who was absolutely correct, and he just doesn't know how much I agree with him. And he was making point that the Make Dixie Great Again website is very difficult to negotiate. And I know that better than anyone can possibly imagine because I've dealt with it since the inception. Now, there's several things. We're working on getting our own Confederate Legion website that will be located at the scv.org website, so it's all together. Make sure everybody knows that this isn't two different organizations. Make Dixie Great Again is really owned by the people that put it together up in Florida, Mississippi, and he's doing it all through volunteer efforts. So when we send something to be posted, it takes a long time. And then when they design the website, they design it like a business person would. So we're going to try to bring that back in-house. And so the ConfederateLegion.com will be up hopefully before the end of the year. But that's maybe, for web development, that's really pushing it. But I really want that because my idea is to have it where you can go to the scv.org. Then you've got a choice of where else. You can go to the museum, you can go here, you can go there, or you can go to Confederate Legion. You click on the Confederate Legion, and every one of the ads that we have, you can get it. All the videos. So make it quick and easy. I want to make it so simple that even my twin brother can find stuff when he needs it, So I know that, I am a high-tech person compared to him. And I'm going to tell you, I don't do anything except PowerPoint, Microsoft Publisher, and a little bit of Excel. So, I'm not a high-tech person. I don't know the stuff. But I do know that the current system we have is not easy for me to find it. And I know what I'm looking for, and I've maneuvered before. So I'm going to try to make it where it's almost the landing page, and you just click what you want. And I'm hoping, Moose, to be able to link all of your archives on there. So anybody said, well, let's see that January Look Around the Confederation. They can click on that and see that. So we want to put up all our videos, all our ads, all of our news releases one place, all our counterattack forms and letters in one place that you can click on and get it. Now, I don't want it to be a form for doing dues collection and that kind of stuff. That's over on the other. This is strictly Confederate Legion, SCV stuff that we're doing to promote the cause. All right, that's enough for the Kennedy. Do you want me to shut up so you can do your thing?
Well, again, everybody, please thank our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, for coming on. Please make sure to share this episode so we can get this information out there as quickly as possible. And, of course, to be put on the email list. If you are not, you can contact the Confederate Legion at their email, clegion@reagan.com. It's been scrolling across the screen for a bit. We're going to keep it scrolling across the screen for a minute. Let me see if I can get to one of our sponsors. They're all the way up here. I have a lot of notes in this poor computer tonight. And we will cut to a quick commercial break. And when I'm back, we will talk about the news. We are saving our lieutenant CIC's news last because Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, told me to, and he is my boss technically. So I'm going to follow his rules. But please shout out to our sponsor. And remember that tonight's special announcement is sponsored by Southern Flags and Quilts. Southern Flags and Quilts have some great work, some outstanding, historically accurate flags, all made. And guess what? Not another country, not a Yankee up north, but by a Southerner in Alabama. So they're linking in the chat to go to their Facebook page. Great work. They're helping us here with a special project on SCV chat. So we know they have good quality work because we don't have a lot of money and they're helping us out. So they've got great quality deals too. Here's a couple of their flags so you can see some of their work. Just outstanding, great quality flags. And if you need one for your reenacting group or for your mechanized cavalry or for really anything, these flags are definitely something to behold, ladies and gentlemen. So please make sure you go and check out our sponsors, Southern Flags and Quilts. Link in the chat for them, and we will be back after these messages. Please remember that our Pop-Tart breaks and all of our Faces videos are sponsored by the Confederate Legion. Almost replayed the intro, but here we go.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost. Stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Oh, I love that commercial every time. Again, let's please thank our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, for coming on for that breaking news and telling us how we can fight back and reclaim the narrative. When they send out the link, I beg everybody to share this episode. And again, remember, do not forward the email you will get. You can copy and paste the link and send it out to your camp members that way. It's a much safer way to do it. And of course, that way, all of our camp members, your wives, your husbands, your sons, your daughters, can all get this link and, of course, all help out with the cause. Jude has got a point, though. I wanted to point this out, though. This is pretty cool. Don't give money to people who hate us or don't support our heritage. If you can, please try to support your brothers, your Southern brothers and sisters that are working hard to give us good quality stuff here. Because they work hard. There's a lot of competition out there in the business world these days, and so make sure you support the people over at Southern Flags and Quilts. But getting on into the news, we have a great bit of news tonight. I didn't realize how much news I had until I started going through my notes. I have notes on here and banners for the information, and it is very quickly to get buried in that. And for example, I had some of Donnie's stuff for Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief stuff at the bottom, and then now it's all the way at the top. So when we get to his news later, it's going to be interesting. The reason I keep bringing him up is because I'm just messing with our Lieutenant CIC. I know he loves that. But again, let's give a quick shout out, though. One of our chat heads, one of our very first chat heads, has a birthday today. So I want everybody to wish a very, very happy birthday to our cousin Vinny. Vinny has been a chat head since day one. How he found us on that other platform almost 2 years ago, I will have no idea. But he was able to find us, and he has been a supporter for us for 2 years now, going strong. Vinny has been there since the very first episode of SCV Chat, and by October 17th, Vinny will be there for the 100th historic episode of SCV Chat. And he's also been there for every episode of Look Around the Confederation almost, ACG Chat. So Cousin Vinny is a big supporter of us here, and we wanted to give him a very, very happy birthday. So happy birthday, Cousin Vinny. Everybody please wish Cousin Vinny in the chat. Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kendi, would like to wish you happy birthday, Cousin Vinny. He sent that in the private work chat. I wish I could put that on screen. But again, happy birthday, Cousin Vinny. And Cousin Vinny actually has some news for us. We've asked Cousin Vinny to help us out with information when the Enfield, North Carolina Confederate monument that was torn down by the mayor. I'm going to give Cousin Vinny a couple minutes to get what he told me over the phone, information ready. But if you don't remember what I'm talking about, this monument, this beautiful monument that had not just for the Confederate veterans, but it was a monument to World War II veterans, World War I veterans, the Korean conflict, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War. It had a lot, and here is it now. It was bulldozed illegally by the mayor. If I'm not mistaken, the city council did not greenlight this. He went out of his way, spent his own money, and then guess what he did? Live streamed it on Facebook. This man went out of his way to disrespect these veterans in their memory. And these stones that people goes to remember family members that either lost their life in the war or never made it home. It sickens me. We all know how high my blood pressure gets with these issues. I think I've spent a good couple minutes barring the Carl Jones box and getting on top of it and standing on there and talking for a bit. So it irritates me. And Cousin Vinny has us some information. So let's see here. There he is, Cousin Vinny. So the mayor has a very long rap sheet, apparently. He's still being investigated. The investigation is still pending. If I'm not mistaken, he has lost access to his Facebook, and he has had several past aliases to cover up his past crimes so people wouldn't know who he really is, hence why he has been elected mayor of the small town. Now, with this investigation and with his publicity, from what I'm being told by Cousin Vinny, of course, he's kind of our reporter in the field on this one for us. Thank you again, Cousin Vinny. He is being heavily investigated. Of course, he is a criminal. He has had several past crimes. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a minute. But he's a bad guy, and hopefully this investigation will prove some fruit, if you will, and we can get this man and nail him down, if you will. Probably a very, very poor choice of words, but again, make him pay for the crimes he committed in the past, and of course, his crimes that he committed to these veterans' memory. Let's see here. In addition, the mayor is also claiming to be a victim of vandalism himself. Cousin Vinny says the mayor is very dangerous, and he's got very narcissistic traits, and is somewhat known around as a con man. And when writing, it's hard to keep it respectful when you're dealing with someone like this. Yes, I agree. Of course, we have to. Let's see here. Also, a member of Save Southern Heritage Florida. They do a fantastic program where we learned about this case in Richmond in past programs. Awesome. Yes, he needs to be at the very least be charged with the crime of destruction of public property, defacing a monument, and paying a fine, and also removal of office. I agree with you, Cousin Vinny. Monuments Across Dixie have a quick message. If you have any pictures of this monument, please send it to them. They are willing to recreate this monument if anybody is willing to help us spearhead this project. Please, if you're around this area, and I'm going to go a brain fart, in Enfield, North Carolina, please contact Monuments Across Dixie. They would like to get a replica of this monument back up. Again, this is not a monument just to Confederate veterans. This is a monument to World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korean, Gulf. This monument is this town's tombstone to veterans lost throughout the ages. And so if you can help with this project, please do. If you're an SCV camp in the area and you would like to spearhead this project, please comment or please contact Monuments Across Dixie. Again, I want to thank Cousin Vinny for staying close to this and helping us out with this. I wouldn't have been able to figure out this man is a man who has convicted multiple crimes and has multiple aliases to help him cover up his past. It is really sickening to me to know that this man was able to run for office and no one was able to find out that he is a criminal. And then not only is he not even trying to have a fresh start, he is continuing to be a criminal in office. Now he has a title and power to get away with it. Or so he thought. Hopefully he will pay for his crimes. The investigation is still ongoing. I hope and I ask Cousin Vinny to please keep us updated here on Look Around the Confederation, and we'll report on that anytime we have any news. Going back to some good news, though, and some events. History awaits you. Be there. Pleasant Hill, Louisiana, October 29th, 2022. A monument rededication ceremony will be taking place then. I as well hope to be there. And again, anytime there's a monument being dedicated or put up for the first time, or a monument that's being put back up, you need to show your support, everybody. Again, these monuments are very important to our heritage. These were very important to our the generations before us, and these are very important to our veterans themselves. Again, this was their tombstone. This was their monument for the men that didn't make it back home. That was the only place their family could go to grieve. These are very important, and today they still continue to help us teach the younger generation the cost of that conflict, of the war between the states, and a somber reminder to always honor these veterans. So if you can make this event, please be there because history awaits you. Going on to the next bit of news, let me check the chat real quick. It should be twice as big as the one they destroyed. What is the location? The location for the monument rededication is Pleasant Hill, Louisiana. If you're talking about the North Carolina monument that was taken down, it is Enfield, North Carolina. Let's see here. Yes, the monument that they put up in replacement for this one should be twice as big. But again, that area just needs to see that monument back up, and I hope that Monuments Across Dixie can find someone to help them spearhead this and get that monument back up. We have a couple pictures here of the monument. A couple of them are blurry from the mayor's Facebook feed from when he tore it down. But again, these are still very important, and I hope we can find it. But again, going on to some more pleasant news or some good-spirited news, if you will. Let me see here. The Captain John Rayburn Camp 452 will be hosting the first annual Battle of Scherm Creek on September 24th through the 25th. So this weekend. So if you can make it, please be there. There will be period settlers, non-period vendors, food and entertainments, ladies' tea, and so much more. And remember, there's no reenactor registration fee. This will be in Crossville, Alabama. Of course, you saw me put up the address a minute ago. And as always, if you send us kind of these flyers and some information about your event, we try our best to post them after every episode of Look Around the Confederation on the SCV Chat Facebook page to help people share and promote these events. And of course, sometimes we cannot share all the information these people want us to send out about these events. We have a bit of a word limit on what we can put up on the screen. And sometimes there's information I forget and simply didn't write them down in my notes. And sometimes I make mistakes. And so if you want to, please make sure you check out our Facebook page tomorrow, I would say. And all these events would be up for you to like, share, and get more information about. Let's see here. Date and location for the North Carolina Monument. Are you talking about the monument that was torn down, Kenneth? I do not remember where it's torn down, but its location was Enfield, North Carolina. That's about much information I have. You can maybe get up with Cousin Vinny. He might have more information for you. He's kind of our appointed guy on this subject. But let's see here. Let's get into the next bit of news. This one's close to my heart. All right. Beauvoir, the last home of President Jefferson Davis, is proud to present their 36th annual Fall Muster event. You can come and join battles on Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Now remember, Beauvoir, the last home of President Jefferson Davis. It is owned by United Sons of Confederate Veterans, Mississippi Division. And you also remember there will be a ladies' tea on Saturday, October 15th at 10 a.m., open to the public. If you have a period dress, we encourage you to wear it. Period vendors, music provided by the 5th Alabama Regimental Band, drills, skirmishes, living history, camp exhibits, and so much more. This is fun for the whole family, people. This is the event that got me back into reenacting. I had not reenacted since I was 12 before going to this event last year, so I'm very happy to attend it again this year. And of course, this is kind of the only, this is the only house of the only president of the Confederate States of America, President Jeff Davis. And of course, it's also owned by the United Sons of Confederate Veterans, Mississippi Division. So this is in-house, people. So if you can please support it, please do. And remember, the event is on, let's put this back up, October 15th and 16th. You can go to www.visitbeauvoir.org for more information. And again, that event's very close to my heart. I cannot wait to be there very soon. I'm looking forward to it. And we will have a Look Around the Confederation episode dedicated to this event before it takes place. Hopefully soon. Let's see here. The rededication, Kenneth, that's in Louisiana. That's in Pleasant Hill, Louisiana. This monument has been taken down. That was in North Carolina, destroyed. We're looking for someone to help recreate it. Our Monuments Across Dixie will recreate it, but we need someone to spearhead the fundraising, the land, the event, and stuff like that. There is no rededication planned at the moment for the North Carolina monument. It was torn down maybe a month ago, sadly, and I mean completely destroyed. Let's see, next bit of news. The Captain J.J. Dickerson Camp 1387's Lee Jackson Southern Heritage Celebration will be held on January 7th at 6 p.m. 2023. Their guest speaker will be none other than our Commander-in-Chief, Jason Boshiers. And, of course, this is one of those events that might be a bit easier to see the flyer on our Facebook page. They're Lee Jackson's in this organization. Lee Jackson events are always phenomenal. If you can go to one, I would always highly encourage it. I always have a great time, no matter who is hosting a Lee Jackson event in this organization. Matter of fact, I love January because I get to go to Lee Jackson events the whole month almost. So it is a great time. If you are in this area in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, let me pull it back up. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure it's, in Florida. Please attend. All right, next bit of news. All right. The Gainesville Volunteers Camp 373 out of Mississippi is hoping, or is not hoping, but is asking if you would like to get one of these stamps. They're about $5. They are the final Confederate Veteran Union stamp. Very beautiful stamp. I have it in my my office back at my house, sadly. By office, I mean my room, like anything else. It is absolutely outstanding. You can own a piece of history here, folks. That stamp is, of course, very beautiful. And, of course, it helps the camp out. So if you have just $5 to spare, that's all, please send it to the Gainesville Volunteers Camp, and they will send you this lovely, lovely stamp. On to some other news now. Let's see here. Look Around Florida will be at that event. Ooh, Mr. Sean, I'm a jealous man. I might ask you if you could please send me some news on that event when the time comes. That will be awesome. There is a great Lee Jackson Day event in Knoxville. We always have around 150 people plus in attendance, and we have had 350 before. Congratulations, Mr. David. I hope you have another great event, and I hope to one day be at both of these events. Cousin Vinny asked me to come to Virginia. Okay. I won't step foot in Richmond. The last time I set foot in Richmond, Monument Avenue was still there, if that tells you anything. I'd say that. I'm pretty sure I've been to Richmond since 50-50. Let's see here. Next bit of news. Morgan on the Rim is a reenactment taking place October 28th through the 29th and the 30th in Tennessee. School day will be Friday, free for all students from 1 to 4:30 p.m. On Saturday and Sunday, there will be demonstrations of cavalry, infantry, and artillery from 10 to 12. And skirmishes will be on Saturday and Sunday at 1:30 p.m. You're going to enjoy food and all kinds of activities, including period photos, talking with soldiers and civilians, and seeing the handling of equipment and going to settlers. Now, this event, to my knowledge, is still looking for a General Robert E. Lee reenactor for this event. It is 30 miles north of Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're in this area and looking for something to do on that weekend, please attend. And, of course, if you are a General Robert E. Lee reenactor looking for something to do, we highly encourage you go out and support and be their General Lee. Let me check with the chat real quick. It's only 2 hours away from me, Moose. Lucky, Mr. Sean. Details to come soon. If you guys have any details about any events, please send them to me as quickly as possible, and I will try to have them out, as well as any camp division news or even Army news. National news we usually cover on the Monday show, though. But if we don't cover it on the Monday show, I will cover it here. So please send all type of Confederate news here. We are happy to have it. Next bit of news. There will be an annual reenactment and living history the weekend of October 1st through the 2nd in Laurel Hill, the birthplace of Major General J.E.B. Stuart. Let's see here. It is in Virginia. My eyes are not the eyes of a 23-year-old, so I'm having trouble reading that. It opens at 9 a.m. There's free parking. Admissions is $8 a person. 12 and under are free. There will be food and vendors available. You can meet with generals, enjoy ladies' tea, Saturday night dance, Sunday morning church service, settlers, bands, and battles on Saturday and Sunday. It sounds like a great event. So again, if you are in these areas, please go out and support them. Let's see here, check the chat again. Oh, yes, Mr. David Pope runs the Dr. Freeman group on Facebook. It's a great group. I love going there and learning. I recently discovered, and I say recently, it's been a couple months now, information about Dr. Freeman. I shows you how bad college has failed me, as I didn't realize how great his books were, and that is just utterly disappointing. I've since cannot wait to start reading his books on General Washington and General Lee. I am just looking forward to that. I cannot wait till I graduate college, for those who don't know, mainly because in college they tell you what to read, and it's always fake history. It's always a joy to read what the other side is saying about our history. It always never gets dull because they find stuff at this point to lie about. But I got a stack of books this high that I'm looking forward to reading after I graduate. And Dr. Freeman's books are, of course, on one of the top of that list. Let's see here. Speaking of which, Dr. Mitchum sent me his book, Voices of the Confederacy. Again, I would highly recommend getting that book. It's a very great book. Let us see here. All right. Now, we talked about this last week, but it is still an event that we will put up here. If you don't know, this is Jude's camp from last week. The General William J. Hardy Camp, 1397, on October 8th, 6 p.m. through 8 p.m. is hosting a bluegrass concert on their property at historic New Hope Church with $10 admission. So they will have Bands of Brothers, Dallas, Georgia traditional bluegrass band, and let's see here, the Servers of Georgia, a bluegrass gospel band. Admission again is $10. Children under 12 are free. All benefits, all proceeds will go to benefit the General William J. Hardy Camp 1397. Of course, this camp is doing big things, as we talked about last week. So again, if you are in that area, please go out and support them. Hey, that's my camp. Yeah, it is, Jude. Let's see here. One second. I had something else I wanted to talk about. I'm checking my notes real quick. Well, it'll come to me hopefully in a bit. Let's see here. Any more news? I think we got a bit more to cover. Yes. Let's see here. The Secession Camp 4. Wow. That is a very low number. It's very rare you see something like that. Out of South Carolina is having a fundraiser. The Confederate Heritage Rides for motorcycles on September 24th, again this weekend in Charleston, South Carolina. It is a 115-mile poker run style motorcycle course with stops at 3 local Confederate sites. Then a big after party with food, prizes, and a live band. They've been doing this for 18 years, and it's been a lot of fun. We have riders as far away as Virginia already registered for this event. You can go to the website scrolling across the screen to register. I will put it in the chat so you guys could see it a bit better. Let me do that. Okay. And the link to register for this event is in the chat. If they've been doing an event for 18 years, people, you know it is a good event. And if you're in the South Carolina area, please make sure to attend. Let's see here. I don't know if there's anything in Texas or New Mexico at the moment. Is our ACG chat host Christian Lee in the chat right now? If so, maybe he has the answer to that question. Let's see here. While we're waiting on that, maybe he's in the chat, hopefully. We do have an announcement from Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill. The Army of Tennessee is having a fundraiser to try to purchase an original CS Naval Cutlass for $1,000. Division members, our camp members, and all donations are appreciated. Send donations to HQ and mark the memo line Cutlass. Commander Jimmy Hill himself will be starting donations with $100. You can also send him an email at aotcommander@alscv.org so you can keep track of the donations. We, of course, museum. Commander Hill has been doing a great job over there. And, of course, this will be another fine addition to the museum. So if you can help them out, please contact Commander Hill immediately. And, of course, you can send the checks to the museum under the tagline of Cut Last. We are up to $700 so far. Let me give a big congratulations to Commander Jimmy Hill. Only $300 more to go, people. Come on. Between 30,000 members and the about 500 people that are going to watch this show, I think we can get to that number. Let's help the AOT out. All right. I think without further ado, it is time to talk about the last bit of news. Let's see here. Get some good pictures ready. Whew. We have some breaking news from our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Walter Kennedy. He will give Commander Hill $100 at the GEC meeting October 1st. So they're up to $800 now. So that means they only need $200 more, people. We can get this fine thing from the museum. Of course, anything to benefit the museum, we need to do. If I had any money, I would donate it. As we all know, and Connor pointed this out to me the other day, that I talk about how I am a broke college student with no money on this show way too much. And it's become a running joke behind the scenes that I'm going to say it at least once an episode. So there's my one per episode for y'all. Again, congratulations to me up to $800, Commander Hill, and we hope you reach your goal. And, of course, please let us know if you do get to your goal. All right. Speaking of our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Walter Donnie Kennedy attended the Pacific Northwest Division SCV reunion in Nampa. The enthusiasm level for this event was off the chart. He said that the Commander, Rick, offered us an education on quality books and how to avoid political correct trash. Congrats. Let me see here. I think, let's see here. Jimmy Hill says our Chief of Heritage Operations has already pledged $100 and pledged $100 for donations. So already donated and pledged another $100 for donations. So you're still at 700. Okay. Donate. Let's see. All right. Well, hopefully y'all will get there, Commander Hill. Y'all are close. Let me continue with this news real quick on our Lieutenant CIC. Again, he was able to attend the Northwest Division SCV reunion. I got a picture of Mr. Yep, there's Commander Rick. Got a picture of him. Commander Rick, of course, offered us a great education on quality books on how to avoid PC trash. Members had a long roundtable discussion on problems facing not only the cause of the South, but also how attacks upon South have started impacting traditional American values. Plans were laid for creating a division issue of the Dixie Defender, and a discussion was had on how best to distribute the division's Dixie Defenders. The Powell boys entertained us with music including the Bonnie Blue Flag and, of course, Dixie. Men of the Pacific Northwest are pushing ahead with plans to promote Southern heritage regardless of the woke PC enemy. I want to congratulate everybody there. Of course, here are the lovely young men that supplied that. Let me see if I can pull it up. These young musicians are the Pyle brothers. The two olders are SCV members, and the youngest is a cadet. Wow. Everybody knows how I love to see cadets working in this organization. So that is awesome. Someone said we need to donate eyeglasses for dear Moose. Moose is blind as a bat, and working on this show has probably made me squint my eyes even more. So that might actually be a good idea. Mr. I probably did get your stars. I'm sorry that I didn't announce it. Sometimes it notifies me, sometimes it doesn't. Thank you, Mr. Let me pull this back up. Mr. Richard, I'm awful at pronunciation. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Hopefully I said it right. We're going to hope for the best. But yes, Miss Linda, it probably is time for me to get glasses. A fun fact, I am wearing contacts, and they just do not work that well sometimes. I'm still blind as a bat, but I'm glad that our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief was able to attend the Pacific Northwest Division reunion. I'm glad that y'all had a great time. I'm glad that the members over there are on fire for the cause and on fire to help us fight this war that we are in for our heritage. And I'm happy to see three young members playing for providing the entertainment and being involved. And that's very important to see a cadet involved. It warms my heart, to steal a phrase from Carl. Again, I started as a cadet, and so I have great memories of the cadet program, and I think it is a great way to help get younger kids involved in this great organization. And maybe they'll just be a paper member when they turn 12 for a while, but I have a feeling they'll be back in this organization when they get a bit older. So I'm glad. I hope you had a great time, Commander Kennedy. I hope you had a great time over there, and I hope everybody there learned a lot. It sounds like y'all did, and again, I'm very, very happy for y'all. I don't think I have any more news to cover. I'm checking real quick. We're at an hour, so we will not be lasting much longer, I can tell you that much. Let's see here. Moose does not have 20/20 vision. No. Moose is pretty blind. Let's be honest here. I guess I can talk about this. As most of you know, I'll save that for the end. As many of you know, the 100th episode of SCV Chat is coming up October 17th. If I was y'all, I would tune in to our show Monday. You might be able to figure out who our celebrity guest is then. Again, Monday will be Adam coming on, our executive director, to talk about. Let me put that up there. To talk about our National Museum. Don't forget. Yes. Let me pull that back up here first. Our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief has asked that please do not forget to fill out the form in defense of the Arlington Monument. Links will be sent out will be sent out soon. Jude tripped me up with it's Trump. It is not Trump. But links will be sent out soon. Make sure that you are checking your email. That way you guys can not sign up, but use the link. If you want to, you can rewatch the beginning of this episode and go through the steps on how to do this. Again, it seems to be very simple. And it's a great way to help us get a lot of emails out to these people. Remember, we have to fight. We need to send these emails out, so please do. It's always kind of hard sometimes to get people to send out these emails. Again, if you sometimes don't know what to say in these emails, again, this email has an automatic response that you just need to edit a bit, make it look a bit original, and send it out. So if you're not a talker, there's the fix for you. If you don't know your senator's email, this link will automatically do it. It's very simple and user-friendly. To quote our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, Commander Kennedy, real quick. It is probably going to be a great thing for us and a great tool in the future. I hope it works, and I hope we continue to use it, because I just feel it in here, because I know how much of a problem it can be sometimes to send out these emails. This really solves all those problems, people. So make sure you use it. Make sure you support it. Links will be sent out soon. We will try to have an update for you here on Look Around, or SCV Chat page in general. When they do, I will talk to one of the Kennedys probably after the show and talk about getting the link out or no, the link will all be sent out via the email, but letting y'all know when it gets sent out and stuff like that. So I think that is the last bit of news. No, it is not Trump, Jude. But yes, make sure you tune in Monday for our Hearth and Home episode, getting to know your national headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans, Elm Springs and the museum. So make sure you tune in that Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time, same Confederate channel. Mooses are capable of moving each of their eyes independently of the other one. Additionally, they're extremely nearsighted. Jason with the Moose Fact, presented by 1175 Firearms, I guess. I guess we're going to do that sponsor. That's joyful. I want to thank you for that, Jason. Depending on if I should put Jason in a timeout for that comment or not. No. I'm just messing with you, Jason. Commander, thank you for all you do for this organization. Let's all give a round of applause for our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Walter Kennedy. I'm trying to get used to calling you Mr. Walter Kennedy. I'm so used to calling you Mr. Donnie. It's going to take some time. Let's see here. I don't think other than that we have any more news. But go back, share this episode. Make sure if you have camp or division news or project, please send it to us. And if you have a camp or division project that you'd like to talk about live on Look Around the Confederation, please email us at scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com. And make sure you also send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you'll be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. I have been your host for the evening, Moose. Without further ado, I don't think I have anything to say. Make sure to tune in Monday for our Hearth and Home episode. Trying to make sure I've got everything covered. If you cannot tell, I'm tired. It's gotten to where like I used to be like tired on one or two episodes coming into it. Now I'm like, well, okay then. We just got the link sent out. Awesome. So if you are on, I think it's the Confederate Legion's mailing list. You should get it now. And National is going to be sending it out via the dispatch either tonight or tomorrow. So please make sure when you get this to copy the link, send it out to your camp. Do not forward the email. They could accidentally unsubscribe you from these emailing lists, the dispatch. These are very important to be a part of, people. It's the quickest way to get information out within our organization. Maybe only second to SCV chat. Had to give myself some self-promotion there. But yes, so please make sure you copy the link that they send out. Send it to your camp. Send it to your wives. Send it to your husbands. Send it to your kids, your grandkids, and everybody else in between, your friends. Let's get these emails sent to these senators. Let's show them we mean business. Let's see here. If someone is Christian Lee in the chat, Christian, if you could help him find a camp near him, maybe. Or you can send me a message after the show, and I'll try my best to help you. Sometimes it's a little hard to find a camp, but we can try to find one for you. We'd be happy for you to join this organization, or if you're already in this organization, we'd love for you to find a camp to get involved with. Let's see here. Just share it. Hey, thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you for sharing. Of course, please rewatch the beginning of this episode, everybody. The first 30 minutes is when we kind of went over this email, this link to send out the email to the senators about Arlington Monument. And I guess without further ado, everybody, I think I finally got everything covered. Let me check the chat one more time. For my senators, never goes in the inbox, it goes in the trash. I wouldn't doubt it, Big Papa. All right, well, I guess without further ado, I will see you guys Monday at 7 p.m. Make sure you tune in, make sure you share this, and make sure you tune in Monday so you can figure out the special guest we have coming for our 100th episode, October 17th. Stay Southern, my friends.